To discuss that a bit further, we're now joined by Mr. Colin Cabell, who is a former lecturer at the University of Bahrain, and he's joining us live now via Skype from West Virginia. Mr. Cabell, you've spent some time on the ground in Bahrain, so I'm wondering how much of an influence does the UN's opinion have on anything that happens within the country?
Within the Kingdom of Bahrain, the UN opinion doesn't carry much weight. However, within the world community, the opinion of the United Nations does carry weight. And by the UN singling out Sheikh Ali Salman as being a prisoner of conscience for speaking his mind, this carries weight. Why? Because Sheikh Ali Salman is the head of the largest opposition party in Bahrain, Al-Wafaq. And now he joins all of the other opposition leaders who have been in jail now since the Bahrain Revolution broke out in February of 2011. Mushema, Rajab,
Right. So, Mr. Cabell, when we're looking at how the United Nations has spoken out now about Sheikh Ali Salman, finally, the international community seems to be taking some action, at least in words. Will this affect things on the ground, do you think?
Well, it will affect, Waqar, is the action not only of the regional countries, but also so-called countries that are in opposition to the democratic forces of Bahrain. Right now, the United States State Department is split. There are those who want to continue to support the Bahraini government and the House of Saud and all the Gulf monarchies. However, there are others in the State Department, Defense Department, etc., who realize that this is untenable because there's no widespread support or even minimal support for these monarchies. They lack legitimacy. And with the death of King Abdullah in Saudi Arabia, they see this as a pivotal moment. You have the Salman, the younger brother, supposedly younger brother in the 70s, who is senile, who has now assumed the throne in Saudi Arabia. And as you know, Saudi Arabia runs the show of all the Gulf monarchs. And the United States is in a process of reassessing its influence in the region. Should they stay with the monarchs, they're going to lose all control because the people are united in their opposition throughout the monarchs to overthrow these unelected dictators, particularly in Bahrain, where you have over 3/4 of the population in opposition to the Al Khalifa dictatorship. So yes, this statement by the UN is going to carry weight by the regional actors and also by the UK and the US, and strengthen those forces within the governments who see that supporting these monarchs is untenable in the long run.
Very well. We'll leave it there at that, but as always, we appreciate your insight. That was Mr. Colin Cabell, who is speaking to us live from West Virginia.